We are live. We are absolutely 100% live this evening. Go check the mic, check the sound, check 1, 2. Who's in the house? Look at all the comments already. Look at all the comments already. Right, I've just had to change the thumbnail of the video. I'm trying to keep this as close as I can because there was some issues with the recordings earlier. Right, I just had to change the thumbnail of the video tonight because there's breaking news. There's breaking Celtic transfer news this evening. Big breaking Celtic transfer news this evening is that we have signed the Swede. The transfer fee has been agreed for Gustaf. Gustaf will be a Celtic player. He's set for his medical and to complete his move to Scotland. Celtic have agreed the fee, and the defender will arrive in Scotland next week to undergo his medical ahead of signing the deal. Obviously, it was the Expressen paper over in Sweden that broke the news, and it looks like Celtic are set to pay £3 million for their man. So what do you think about that? Breaking news this evening, Celtic fans. We have done it. We've got a defender in. Right, let's get to this. It was breaking news as it came on air, so I had to quickly change the thumbnail for the video. And brilliant, been an absolutely fantastic day for Celtic as far as we're concerned. We came in for the pub. Good evening, troops. I'll get to all your comments in a minute, but the big breaking news is tonight: Ben Summers has signed a new deal. The Swede has signed a deal. He hasn't put pen to paper yet, but he will be in Glasgow to do his medical, and then he'll put pen to paper next week. So that's the big breaking news tonight. Ben Summers is signed as well, so that's even better news for Celtic. Let's get the Ben Summers story up. Ben Summers penned a new contract amid loan transfer exit talks. Now, it's understood that the manager wanted to make sure that the players that are going out on loan, the younger ones, are still going to be at the club and they'll feel wanted by the club. The highly rated 19-year-old Ben Summers, who obviously came through the academy, he made his first team debut last season back in April when he came on as a substitute against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. He then followed that up in the final day of the season with the 5-0 win over Aberdeen. Summers is one of the Celts that, we all wanted to get tied up on a longer deal. We've done that. He did travel to Portugal and Japan with the first team, and Brendan feels it will help him more if he goes out and plays first team football at a decent level rather than playing in the Lowland League with the B team. So the big news is we've signed on a young guy that wants to be with us. The one that we have to sign for me is Vata. We need to get the Vata deal done and then get him put out on loan so he can improve himself. Tell me what you think about the excellent news. Yes, the big news is we just need a keeper. The Lowland League is a joke yet, and it's fine for bringing on the B team and things and letting players play on a regular basis. And some of the young players have said it is a bit like playing for the first team because you're playing a weekend and you're playing midweek. I said when you're in the reserves, you don't have that. So a lot of players have said that it is good for that because it gets you ready for that step up to the first team. I think what Brendan's wanting to do now is get these young players signed up on long-term deals and get them out to get one season, get a season under their belt of playing good football, and then see where they go from there. It did our captain the world of good at that age. But obviously the big news, the big breaking news tonight is we have signed a defender. Yes, Gustaf has signed. The deal has been agreed. What does it do for Kobayashi? What does it do for Scales? What does it do for Stephen Welsh? These are questions that now need answered. Do you think Kobayashi will go out on loan? Do you think Scales will go to Aberdeen after tomorrow? That'll be interesting because I'm sure that both managers will have a talk before and after the game, and for definite it will come up the Liam Scales question to Aberdeen. Barry Robson does want him up in Aberdeen, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anything materialises with that, the fact that we've went out and spent good money on him. to be fair, we spent good money on all the players that we've bought. I mean, Scales, we've paid good money for him. You want him to get in the team, but it's whether or not he's going to get enough first team action. So it's fantastic news tonight. Fantastic breaking news. Let's get, please not worth turning into shit. Yep, right. Let's go. Who's going to play first pool? Oh, the Swede. What? What are you talking about? Anyway, right. Let's get all this out of the way. Kobe can go and Welsh can go. Let's go back to the beginning because there was loads of comments. NSF Conan's looking for a drink. We're in. Paul Rimley says, "Hell, troops." Brian says, "Hell. Cheer, Brian. How you all doing tonight?" Kane is leaving Tottenham. Does it mean that Ange will come back for Kyogo? No, not a chance. Not a chance, I don't think. Anyway, I can hear the for clause in the contract. He should. Yeah, that's what I'm believing as well, Brian. That's been said many, many times. Hail, hail to Celtic supporters on this channel. Rod from Brecon. Hail, hail, Rod. Right. Tam Mack is in the building. Brian's in the building. Paul Emery's in the building. James Bentley's in the building. Got the Rebs on. And yep. Right. Let's cut up to the new comments. Right. Evening from Paul from Glasgow. Hail, hail. Who will play first will be interesting. Who will play first? It's going to be Cameron Carter-Vickers and Rocky. That's your two. This young guy that's coming in from Sweden. I think it's going to give us that option. Rocky can play in the back of a back three. So I wouldn't be surprised if sometimes we go to a back three. You don't know. Brendan's good at changing things around. And the fact that we're bringing him in could mean that we've got that possibility to change things around a bit. And I think Brendan's going to use this squad more. He is going to be doing a lot more squad rotation than we have in previous years. I can see that. The beer's on the way. I'm just making sure I'm well hydrated because it was 32 degrees here today again. Right. That'll do for me. Says Paul then says, hail, hail, Baz. Rocky looks brilliant signing. Yeah, Rocky is a brilliant signing, but we have just got Gustaf in the house. Lager, Gustaf. That'll be this tune. Watch this. Yeah, Lager. Gustaf is in the hail from Burnley jail. Oh my goodness, you're not in Burnley jail. If you are, how you got a phone? Anyway, everyone has phones in jails these days. Anyway, come on, you boys and greens. Rocky looked very good the last game. Didn't some of our legends harm? Yeah, it didn't do any our legends back in the day going out on loan. Callum McGregor done fantastic going out on loan. I think Ben Summers signing this new contract, getting him put out to, I think, is it Dunfermline? Ben Summers is maybe going to go to. Dunfermline been speaking about it. So, I mean, if he goes out to he's been linked with the move to Dunfermline. Playing in Dunfermline, it gives the manager the option to go and see him play as well. So, and our scouts said Buckhaven's in the house. There we go. Buckhaven's in the house. Gordon Cooper. I think Gustaf will probably be the best lager in the world. He will that. Christie developed a lot on loan too. Yes, he did. Ryan Christie did. Where did he go on loan again? Was London is in the house. Where did Christie go on loan again? It was Aberdeen, wasn't it? It was Aberdeen. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's good putting in. What is your team for the weekend going to be, right? Because I was sitting and I went on the BBC Sport site before the game and you can pick your starting 11. And I thought, I think the team's going to be pretty much the same, but I've got a funny feeling that Turnbull might get dropped out for Hatate. Right, have you all seen the pictures of Celtic training? Yeah, it was Aberdeen. I thought it was Aberdeen. Yeah, he did well at Aberdeen. And then he came back and done really well for us. And then he got his move. The training pictures. Right, let's get back to Celtic. Right, the training pictures today. Celtic released, obviously, as they do, players on the pitch training. And it's just moved. It's always the same when you've got to look for something. It's not there. Celtic. So when you go into Instagram, and it was on all the social media platforms, Celtic are working hard before the Aberdeen game. Oh, the hand of God has spoken. How good is that? How good is that? That's like she's a keeper. Doesn't play football, but she's a keeper. Anyway, cheers. Right, the team, my team. What about Jota going out on loan? Where do you even start with that? Where do you even start with the whole Jota thing going out on loan? Oh, and I've made an adjustment to the channel this evening, people, as well. We know that the dark side usually subscribe at this time of night so that they can comment. I've changed it to 20 minutes. So they're going to now have to wait 20 minutes before they can comment. So anyway, Hail, Baz new defender was overdue. Worth the wait. Yes, was worth the wait. What does it mean about Scales, etc.? I think Scales should go out to Aberdeen on loan. Stephen Welsh is the worry for me. For Welsh, I think he should probably maybe start to think, I've got a year left in my contract. Do I just move now? He's not going to get near the first team. He's been a great servant for the club, but it's like can he improve that much as a player to get included? So I don't know. Scales is the most improved. Miles for his loan yet to be improved last season for his loan. I think he could improve even more. So anyway, hail from Belfast. Delighted with today's signing. Yes, so am I. Right, talking about Welsh. Welsh was actually one of the first ones on the picture for the training, followed by Matt O'Reilly, followed by Turnbull, and little smiley face Bernaby. There we go. Look, Bernaby there. Look, cheery as anything. Look at him, smiling away. Anyway, Bernaby's got a smile on his face. He obviously wasn't late for training that day. And then we go into big Odin. And then it is, who's that? That is Ralston, James Forrest, the big man Carter Vickers, and Hatate with a grin on his face. There, look. Hatate with a grin on his face. A lot of people were reading far too much into the last week when he got dropped off the game. When he got dropped, when you look at just on purely on performance levels, Scales is going to Aberdeen 100%. Hail says Joseph. Have you heard something, Joseph? Have you heard something on the grapevine even? Jesus. Anyway, let's talk about Celtic again. Who woke Burnley up? I don't know. I think it was maybe James Forrest, and I think people were looking far too much into it. I've got a funny feeling Hatate might play tomorrow rather than Turnbull, because I think when it comes to like one-on-ones, Turnbull is a bit lightweight. I think Hatate can throw himself a bit more. So I think Turnbull will come along to the team and predictions. And I'm going to write some of the predictions down. I've still got my prediction from last week, which was wrong. I got 3-1 for Ross County, and it was 4-2. But Rio needs a kick up the butt. Yeah, it does. Here, mate. Yeah, it's a goal. Hail. Yeah, mate, it's a goal. I kind of thought that. I mean, it's for the best for his career, and the fact that we've just brought somebody in. Jota played in front of 6,580 fans. Oh, Jota, what have you done to your career? I mean, you can take the 200 grand a week, and it's like, I don't even want to talk about Jota anymore. I don't even want to talk about him. You're watching him on. Yep. So yeah, if the zombies do come to try and get on tonight, too many people listen to Zombie Radio and the Daily Rangers and the Hun. Yeah, and talking about Zombie Radio, I think that's still live at this time of night. So yeah, it is one of the things you will get people that will listen to that from the west of Scotland and around, just for the pure banter, just for to listen to the zombies and Meltdown. Paul Turnbull, it is the year of the Turnbull. It is the year of the Turnbull. I think so. But he does have a lot of competition with, where is Know My Name? William Martin is Know My Name. William Martin is Know My Name. Is he? Like Foggers. Is that the same? I don't know. I can't click onto it. Keep me on it. No, I'm not. trying not to get banned. Zombie Radio, is that Clyde? Yes, it is. Super Scoreboard, yeah. And fair play to them for jumping onto YouTube, because I think they've all seen how much traffic you can get on YouTube and how many people were ripping off their content. Me especially over the years, a lot of people were ripping off their content and putting it straight on to YouTube. Now they can just do it themselves and everybody can laugh at them direct. It's even better. Anyway, you're a hun. William Martin. Anyway, Aberdeen 1, Celtic 3. Do you think Joe Hart will make a clanger tomorrow? Where is Marco? Marco's still injured. He's not going to be back till September, so we can forget talking about him until nearer the time. Unfortunately, he's not back until September. Aberdeen 1, Celtic 3. I think that's a good shout. Hail, hail, Des. I want a defender here. Still need a striker and a goalkeeper. Yes, I think we do still need a striker. It's a bit of a worry for me, the fact that the only striker that we do have is Kyogo, recognised striker. And Maida, although he does play as striker for his national team, he's basically a winger. So I think we do. The fact that O is out, I think we need someone else in. Just we could do with somebody with a bit of experience. Somebody a bit older. The squad's at a young age. I think you've got to get a balance with our squad. I think the average age of our squad just now is about 23 or something. You have to have a fine balance. Naomi's in the house. And you think Maida's better, Dyson's better as a striker than a winger. I think he probably is. I think it's his more favoured position. And I think that's why Brendan tried him through the middle. And he's like, look, if you play there for your national country and you play there and you do good, let's try it. Kyogo has a dodgy shoulder. Oh, yes, we're all aware of this. And I think that's why when you go into some games, I think as well, there was a formation change at the weekend where Kyogo was coming further back. And this is to do one of two things. When Kyogo's trying to make run off the shoulders of defenders, he's getting the defenders basically barging into him to stop him. Right? If when he's coming in further into the midfield, okay, go on yourself, Brian. Third time lucky. Did you get that other 20 bars on the phone now? I won't show up until tomorrow, Brian, but big thanks for that. No, that's the first one that came through this evening. So thank you to Brian for that. No, the other 20 didn't come through. If you're doing it on the phone, it's probably easier. Right, back to the formation. Brendan made a formation change at the weekend, and he made sure that Kyogo dropped back a bit. And what that does is when he's making his runs, last season, and this is one of the problems that cost Kyogo the injury, the fact that he was getting people that were barging into him off the ball. And I think Brendan understood that. And bringing them deeper into midfield, it gets the midfield players mixed up a bit and saying, look, mind you, 30 quid, Brian. What it does do is it gets the midfield players wondering where he is, and then it actually pulls the defenders out a bit. So there's small tactical changes that you're starting to see, and people are saying Kyogo's coming too deep. But when you look at the pace of Kyogo, and then if you bring in Dyson into the mix, you can then have the two of them coming through the middle with a phenomenal pace. So I think it puts them under pressure. I think it does. We'll put Aberdeen under pressure. They're going to come at us tomorrow. Aberdeen are going to give us a right good go. And I fully expect it to be a thrilling 45 minutes on Sunday. Brendan's playing a false nine, it seems. Yes, it could be. It could be, yeah. It's like, you could, yeah. Jason, you're right, actually. It's like he's playing a false nine. Right. I don't rate O. O's only 22-year-old. You know, we need to stop. How many players at 22 have came into Celtic and been an absolute hit? When you look at all the big players for us over the last 20 years, they've all been over the other side of 25. So I think we know that the way the club works, we know that we can bring players in that can improve. And that's what it's all coming down to. Is let's see how much he can improve. If you've watched any Kyogo's clips before Celtic, that's how he played in Japan. That's interesting. So he came in further. So that just shows you that it goes back to the whole thing where Brendan was asking all the players, what their favourite position was and how they like to play, and it's understanding the mindset of the player, and it's all about getting the best out of the player. So that's actually really interesting. That's really interesting. So there isn't any zombies online as yet. What I might do is when it gets to we're on the 20-minute mark now, I might mix it up a bit and like call it short in half an hour and then start another live so they never get on. Anyway, never mind about them. Possibility of teams, players like Ross County did. Yes, they will. Teams will play like that. You seen it last season. Teams were starting to push up against us last season. I think you're going to get teams that will try that again this season because they know if they sit back against a Brendan Rodgers team, you're going to get annihilated, and we're going to steamroller teams again. If Celtic sign the young Dutch defender as well, Scales and Welsh and Kobe will leave Bassey Hill. Yes, that's probably right, Kenneth, I think. But there has been, I can't remember who has said it was, not yet, Baz. They're on Clyde. They are on Clyde. That's right. Yes, and I hope we do go for that Dutch defender because it'll be interesting. He scored plenty of goals around from the box. Talking about Kyogo again. They're greeting about their team. Who cares? They'll all be on here in about. What time is it? Yeah, give them another 20 minutes and they'll all be on. We should actually just stop the live just around then and I'll set up another one just to really annoy them. We're going to counter this league 100%. These guys need their bedtime, time to bed. And they do. And especially coming from a country where English isn't their first language, so, I mean, football players can play football. This nonsense about the language barrier is nothing because, it's only, football's football. A good football player will know where to run. He'll know where his teams are going to be. His players are going to be. So anyway, these guys, especially, he needs time to bed in. He only came in at Christmas time, didn't he? So he's not even been here 8 months. And he scored, was it 7 or 9 goals? I can't remember. Toward the end of the season. It's Friday. And they'll be getting ready to take their sisters out. Charlie Adams' sisters' pants. They were the best. You could smell them from the east to the west. Anyway, right, let's move on. We've been needing a clear out for a couple of seasons. Brendan wants a squad of 17. A squad of 17, that's a small squad. I'm sure he doesn't want a squad of just 17, surely. Because you're only 2 or 3 injuries away from being in a bit of trouble. Missed 10 minutes. I had to taxi my wife. I'm an Uber, apparently. Did you get paid for it? No, of course you didn't. Right, let's get to some more. Let's get to their starting 11, right? So my starting 11, I'm going to go with, I went with Hart, Ralston, Rocky, Carter, Vickers, and Taylor. I'm undecided about midfield. I think I'm going to go with O'Reilly, McGregor. I'm going to say Turnbull, but I've got a funny feeling that Hatate could come back in for this game. There's just a niggling feeling that Hatate could come in just because he's got that bit of upper body strength a bit more than Turnbull. And then I'm going to go with Abada, Kyogo, and Dyson on the wings. So, I mean, it's a team that pretty much picks itself at this stage of the season. Patrick Toner is up to game. Patrick, thank you very much for that. $9.99 for that for the channel. Thank you. And what do you think of that team? Big Ange played different styles up to the players to get it right and destroy what's in front of us every game. And then James Dillon saying that 17 as a squad size is far too small. It is far too small. Abada could start nearly every game this season. I think he will be. He's a number one choice for the team every week, purely for his pace. That 20 was refunded. So Brian, you did not have to do that. Jesus. Right, thank you very much for that, Brian. You're absolutely amazing for that. I'm going to get absolutely hammered this weekend, and that's me on holiday for 2 weeks as well. I will still be doing the Celtic channels, but I've taken time off from my work here in Spain as it is far too hot to work. Working yesterday and it was 35 degrees where I was working, and it had all the doors open and it was still roasting. Anyway, we really don't want to lose Hatate. We really need to do everything to keep him here. We're not going to be losing Hatate. Not this summer. Most definitely not this summer. I'll put that 20 quid bet on that we've just had. I'll put that on that he will not go. Not a chance. I think the manager has come out and said that he's a player that we'll use over the season. The manager's now starting to talk about using the players over the season. So he's talking about squad rotation more. He's going to have a really good squad of players that, you know, you can afford to drop Hatate out one game because you know that you've got Turnbull waiting in the wings to come on. You know, we never really rotated the squad a lot last season. The first season we had to do it due to the fact that for injuries, the amount of hamstring injuries we got Ange's first season. It'll be interesting to see how many hamstring injuries Tottenham players get in the next couple of weeks. Kane leaving Tottenham. Do you think Ange will come back for Kyogo? Nope. I've said that before. All looked great versus Athletic Club. Yes, he did. He did in the second half, and it's a shame that he got that injury. But he should have come clean with the club. He should have came clean with the club anyway. New Jersey USA is in the house. .com 1515 is in the house. Big up the Yanks, as they say. Right, the Americans are in the house also. Right, let's get the names up. Where is everyone from this evening? We've never done that for a while. We've got America in the house. This afternoon, we had Australia in the house due to the time difference. There are lives going on at different times of day just now, just to try and get everyone in. Hazel Brendan was fine. Hazel, I'm missing out comments here. Anyway, let's get to the ones. He wants a hardcore of just 17. Have you heard Brendan say that? It doesn't mean we use other players just to supplement the squads, just to clear that up. Where San Diego's in the house, California. That's just showing off. That is just showing off. Somebody from San Diego, California's in the house tonight. Hey, we're in. Elgin's in the house. East Kilbride's in the house. Cowden Beef, Dundee. Right, let's get all these places up because we are a club of fans all around the world. Clydebank, East Kilbride, California, Elgin, and the Midlands, Balloch, Loch Lomond, beautiful part of the country. That and Ayr, Bray, Barhead, the Celtic supporters. Cheers to the New York Celtic Supporters Club. Big shout out to the New York Celtic Supporters Club from everyone here, well, from me on the channel and everyone and all the Celtic fans around the world. Pollock's in the house. Cork Island's in the house. Coat Bridge. Cross Hill's in the house. I'm Banky away from him. Birmingham, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Denny, partying in West Belfast. My goodness, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Springburn. Right, so we've not got a lot of people from Europe around tonight, but it's Friday night. They'll all be out on the bevy. Springburn, Glasgow, Zombie Capital, North Lancashire, Hollytown, Ayr. Hollytown, that's a fantastic place. Also, Rocker next weekend. Rocco, yes, Rocco. My old man will be there. My old man runs the stage show for that. Anyway, that's something that you didn't need to know. Anyway, and my cousin actually runs it. So that's probably give you away family connections if you know who runs it. Anyway, let's move on. London's in the house. Crawley's in the house. Yes, we've got some of Englanders in the house. Right, let's get back. We need a new goalkeeper. Yes, I'll be on a bit later. Desmond Iowa. Aya's in North London. Best Celtic channel ever. I'm not sure about that, Gordon, but I do try my best. And what I can't do... One thing I will say, there's a lot of really good Celtic channels out there. And there's a lot of... and I'm going to say this because somebody commented on the channel last night, I think it was. And I never usually read the comments because there's that many of them. So I flicked on it with my phone and I never even had my glasses on, so I couldn't read it. I can hardly read without my glasses. Well, I can, but you got your phone like that. So I seen this comment and it said, "You're so unprofessional." And I never replied to it because I was like, right, well, one, I'm not a journalist. I've never went to college to do any type of journalism. I'm not interested in doing any type of journalism. And I've got total respect for the guys that are out there that are going through journalism courses and whatever, and they're using Celtic media as a way of promoting themselves. But you get what you get on this channel. It is all about Celtic fans. You know, I'm just a guy that's went to the games for as long as he can remember, and is now no longer can go to games, so he does this channel just to make sure. Ryan's got a great channel. Ryan's got I thought he was going to actually do a bit more. Baz, have you got a brother called? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And John. How do you know Kev? I don't say it on this channel. I could probably guess. Anyway, yeah, my brother's Kev. Yep. Yeah, Ryan's got a fantastic channel. He's one of the. I don't watch a lot of Celtic channels, to be fair, because one, I don't have time, and when you're doing a lot of the research for the videos, you've not got time to sit and watch a lot of channels. As I've said before, the channels that I type, I'm his boss. No way. I'll phone him. Wait a minute. Let's do this. This will be funny. He'll probably not answer the phone. He's world's worst at answering the phone. Right, where's your John? He'll not answer the phone. Plus, I'm doing a video call. He'll not answer it. Oh, there he goes. Hello. I'm just talking to your boss, John.
Where about like?
He's on the Celtic channel. I'm doing a live.
Aye.
Aye.
Are you still on live now, like?
I'm on live now, so switch it on. What? Aye, that's obviously on the internet. Right, I'll get away there now. Right, you know. Always great conversations with my brother. Brilliant, brilliant. Yes, right. Right. Like, we're getting back to. I'm not a professional journalist. I've no. It's just real fans talking about real football and a bit of light entertainment and taking John Paul's channel. Yep. That's a cracking channel. Also, they do a lot of lives during the day. Sonny Falkirk. So yeah, I mean, this channel is just what it is, and that light's doing my head. And already I got a different light. Yeah. Right, for the channel, thumbs up for the channel. But I get the boys involved. Yes, we're going to start talking about the channel again. I mean, the way that the channel's evolved over the last 2 years. Baz is not professional. Don't take medical advice from him. No, most definitely not, and no financial advice either. On that note, you can turn that way. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. So it is what it is. It is what it is. The way the channel's evolved in the last couple of years, obviously, it went down the route of the AI voice, and I always knew that was a concept to be copied. And I think that the AI voice now is I think there's about half a dozen AI voice channels now, and then I knew that the Celtic news concept is a thing that could be copied as well. And as you can see, there's another Celtic news channel popped up. With somebody that doesn't show their face, but anyway, who cares? I don't mind. You know, there's more than enough room on the internet for everyone. That's what's great about it. Anyway, playing on here, Baz. So it's working. This is true. Who cares? It's all about a banter. Yes, that's it. Do not take advice. Brilliant. But I do get the boys involved, and that was always the next stage. I did say towards the end of last season, it was all about how how we can actually move the channel forward. Do you know what I mean? And it's all about how many times I can put out content. What people can maybe put out, and Rangers fans here maybe enjoy football opinions on your channel. Here's almost a decent race this year. Go on yourself, Kieran. There we go. Fair play to you. Fair play to you. Yeah, it is all about opinions. So yeah, fair play to you. Anyway, sorry you sent that twice. That's all right. That's all right. It's 291 watts, 307 watching. Get the thumbs up, people. So, Celtic fans, if you Baz don't take or doesn't listen to anyone. No, I don't listen to anyone. I don't listen to anyone. Anyway, it is all about the football, and it's all about just it's probably a bit of giving back. For me anyway. Anyway, Evening Lorna says Stuart with a couple of kisses. When's this turning into a dating site? That light's too funny, isn't it? Right, I need to get this light situation sorted. That's a bit better. Lorna, well said. Kieran, yes. Big up Kieran for that. We've actually been speaking about starting another channel where we can talk about, because when you're on the Celtic channel, you're not going to really talk about bigger, wider Scottish football or even sort of European football. And toying with the idea about she's my niece long. So there you go. Thank goodness you cleared that up, Stuart. Yeah, and I'm seeing the likes of Mark that does the Man United channel, and then he's got his own channel, and you see how much traffic he gets, and it's just I want to create something like that, create something just a little bit special. Anyway, hail from Torquay, and fair play to Kieran. Yep, fair play to Kieran for his comment. Right, so let's get back to the scoreline for tomorrow. The scoreline. I think Aberdeen are going to come out and give us a good go. I think we've got goals in us, but we have got the mistakes as well. It's a week later. Will Brendan have got the players into a mindset where they cannot make mistakes? Channel name suggests that Baz views the football. Nah, that's a rubbish name. I've got a couple of ideas, so I'll let you know. Dan. Jota, does Jota have a brother? So we could send his brother. Anyway, Peter, my cousin, is a priest in Newton Abbey. Away. Big up Kieran. Cheers everyone. No worries, Kieran. Yeah. 2-1 Celtic tomorrow. Everyone's saying that's a couple of ones that we've had in. I need to start writing these down. Here's a pad. Right. Let's take a channel name. Retired old guy talks. I'm not retired. Jason, Jesus. What the heck, what is you think? I shaved my head on purpose, you know. This old retired guy talks a lot. Who are you getting on? You. It's because it's certainly not me. I wish I was retired. I know I didn't, because you get bored. You turn to drink too much as a beer. 3-2 tomorrow. Martin boy, right? Marty boy. I moved my desk around, so I need to get room. 3-2. 3-2 Marty. Jason. 2-1. I need to do that the other way, and it's 3. It's 2. Aberdeen, Celtic, 2-3. Right, 3-0 Celtic. Interesting. I'm not going to be able to write all these down. 4-2 Celtic. I think what everyone seems to think that we're going to go and have goals scored against us, and it is just early. The game's on Sunday. Yes, the game is on Sunday. Sunday boys, yeah, the game is on Sunday. My dad was brother kind of marketeer. Well, there you go. 2-2 Hart Howler. 3-1 4-1 3-0. Who do you think will be first goal scorer? I'm going to say it's going to be a midfield player. 5-0. It's never going to be 5-0. Can't see 5-0. We're not that together yet as a team. Too early in the season for a 5-0. Far too early. Although we did score 4 last week, but then we let into. So 4-1 Celtic. 3-1 says Brian. Big up Brian. Abada. No. Kyogo or Riley. I'm thinking more Hatate or Turnbull. Maida. That's an interesting one. It'll be good. It'll be interesting to see how well the defenders play with each other, because Carol Starfelt has come out and said that he's not 100% match fit. He's fit. He spent 10 weeks, obviously, for the time he got his operation. I think he spent 10 days training with the lads before, and he only played that one half. So he's nowhere near match fit. But what he has said is that he can get fit on the pitch. Do you know, he can get fit with games and games time. Big rocket to score from a corner. That would be an interesting one. 2-0. Kyogo 2 on Sunday. 2-0 Rocky first goal. Yeah, I think it's about time. Celtic's weak point for me is the fact that we don't score enough from corners. We definitely do not score enough from corners. And I think getting Big Rocky in, it's about time that we started doing some damage from corners. Just trying to walk the ball into the net. It can really... It bogs teams down, and you know, but we need to start scoring for corners. We do. Carfield. Starfelt is away. Did I say Starfelt? I never said Starfelt. I said Carter Vickers. Sevco's due a penalty. CCC bars. Did I say Starfelt? Did I? Jesus. Do you know what it is? Because I've just read, and that's because of the BBC. Because I'm on the BBC site just now, and I'm looking at defenders, and they've still got Starfelt as you could pick Starfelt for your team this weekend. That's how up to date their site is. Anyway, Sean, I was thinking that. Yep, he's on bye. Anyway, right, move on, people. Do what you want. Just do what you want. Right. Let's see what other Celtic news is kicking about this evening. John McGlynn. Nope. Let me see. Celtic and reliable source. Celtic have obviously signed 3 million. Gustaf Lager, Gustaf. No, John got pick up. Celtic agree. Defender. Kieran Tierney offered alternative transfer options with bigger sharks like the circles. Nope. Celtic and one. Yeah, we've done that already. Vata. Cameron Carter Vickers managing the pain. From playing in front of 1,000, yes. From playing in front of 60,000 fans at Celtic Park to now playing in front of 5,400. Is Jota now regretting his decision? There's an intro. Let's talk about that. Like you were all talking about Jota earlier on. Is Jota now regretting his? I was watching Alan earlier, and stats showing every team last year pushed us down the left. Yep. BBC still banned from Celtic pressers. Hopefully tarmac 5-1. Lol. Yep. I did say Starfelt, right? Okay. Moving along nicely. How many? 2-0 to Celtic. 2-0 to Celtic. And let's talk Jota. Did she just put that light on? That looks worse in the background, doesn't it? Where are you? Hello? Go and switch that light back off. Looks all yellow in the background. 10 million. Yeah, that looks better. It looks awfully yellow. 10 million a year. Methinks no. Yeah. I mean, it's fine moving for money. It is fine moving for the money, but you know, to go down and play in front of 5,000 folk, it's not a country nation. Yet it's gearing at you. Yeah, it's a glare. Jota will be back in Europe for a few years. They've spent 25 million on him. They put him on 200 grand a week. They're going to have to send him to a team that's willing to prepare at least half his wage, which means he's either going to have to go to. There's no team in England would have given Jota 100 grand a week. Not a chance. Ginny, what are you doing? The dog's lost its bone. Anyway, whoever got Kyogo at the back post, yes. Get Kyogo off the back post at corners. Anyway, wasted talent performances in Europe last season. He had a good run with us in Europe in the Champions League, and I thought, he's one that could. I always thought that if Jota's going to go anywhere, he was going to go to a club in Europe so that he could get to the pinnacle of his career. He's took a 2-year contract with Al Shab. He's going to. He's basically playing in a league that's. I don't know. He's not going to. Is he going to improve as a player? I don't know. Anyway, Jota out on loan a month. Good career move. No, I think Jota. It's been one thing. Losing your bone is one thing. Where did that comment go to? Is that just an age thing? No, I haven't lost my boner. Right, look. Here. Go and get it. It's one thing I've not lost. Anyway, Jota will be in Benfica in 2 years or so. Why is he not getting played? There's a reason. They need to free up space financially to bring in another player, I think. Or the owners of the 3 Saudi teams league, yeah, it is a 3-team league. It's absolutely nuts. Anyway, they've got big plans to have a TV deal of 480 million a year. 480 million pounds a year is their target for the TV deal that they want. So that'll be interesting to see if they can improve their league to get that. And will it be TV companies only going to pay it if the audience isn't there, if the fan base isn't there, if the fans aren't there watching the game? TV companies are only going to pay big money for that league, if you ask me personally. They need one so-called super player to bring out, and there are only 3 allowed. Anyway, that's enough about Jota. He has moved on. The big breaking news at the start of the night was the fact that Gustaf is in the house. Just before we went live on air, it has been released that the big defender is set to complete his move to Scotland. The big Swedish defender has agreed terms, and he'll be in Glasgow next week for his medical. Celtic have agreed a fee with the player to decide to get the defender in. It will be interesting to see, which means to me that it looks like Scales is going out on loan. So it all depends now on what Welsh is going to do, because Welsh is too good to sit around and ruin another year of his career. Hail from Rotterdam's in the house. Brilliant. Rotterdam's in the house. How tall is Lagerbaz? Lager. Is he not 6'1"? 6'2"? I can't remember. Gustaf. Tell you in 2 seconds. We'll get up his stats. Right, this is the good thing about doing this live, is we can jump around and get some information about the player. So we're going to here. There we go. Player profile. Player profile. He is 1.93 meters tall. Centre back from Stockholm. And it's just froze a bit. Give me a bit of a second. Accept all. So, yeah, he is a good player. I mean, he's played 15 times this season. He's had 4 yellow cards. He's scored 2 goals. Coming out of defence, 15 games into the season, scoring 2 goals. That means he's probably scored them from corners, which we've been kind of crying out for. Can play any one of the 2 positions at the back too. So interesting one. 1.93 meters. That's about 6'2", isn't it? So he is a tall lad. We needed a bit of height in the team. He has scored a couple of goals. 6'3". Well, there you go. I was just a bit off. Swedish, so they're born tall. Yep, 6 feet odd. I hope he'll improve our set piece. Also, Stuart, it is part of our game that over the last. I mean, how many times did we score for corners last season? How many times did we score for corners last season? And more worrying, Ross County had 7 corners the first half of the game at the weekend. Ajax were interested in them, so they can't be too bad. Yes, and Ajax are a team that are buying up all the young talent across Europe. As a lot of the European teams are just now, they seem to be buying up a lot of young English players also over the last couple of years. So because they know they can sell them on in the future. So yeah, let's get some more comments. Current ball called Kieran. Calvin Fraser. Jota takes 2 years to play, 10 million. He can come back and play in Europe again. Clever move for the money. But it's 2 years out his career, and a lot of players kind of improve at that point. And he's then going to get to the age bracket where he's the wrong end of 20s, and will he get such a big move? I don't know. I mean, is he going to improve that much as a player, or is he a one-trick pony? An inch makes all the difference. At least that's what the missus say. Oh, we're not going down that route tonight, are we? Right, let me just double check how many thumbs up we have on the channel this evening. Let me just go here. And every time we get a corner or a free kick, I go to the loo because I know it's not going to happen. Yeah, Stuart, that's pretty much it as well. YouTube Studio. I'm on the wrong one. Do this. We need a player of stature like Big Bobo Baldy. we've got young Bosun, and I think young Low Bosun can be that type of player in a few years when he builds himself up a bit. So it's been interesting that there's been a few people subscribed this evening and they've been lingering about, but it takes 20 minutes or so. Anyway, the video that we have live right now, and it's not showing live just yet. How not? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Can't see it. Right, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Right, get the team up. O'Reilly drop out. O'Reilly to drop out. Hatate and Turnbull higher up. 3-2 Thriller at a windy Pataudry. Would you drop O'Reilly out? Will the score be in Aberdeen without Jota? What will the score be in Aberdeen without Jota? I think Celtic will win. Hope to keep Vata. Yes. Let's get back to the Vata story. Vata's got 9 months left on his contract. And we've seen that today that Ben Summers signed an extension to his contract. And he's now going to go out on loan to Dunfermline. Young Vata hasn't signed one as yet. Now, I done a video a couple of weeks ago, about a week or so ago, and I did say then that it was a worry that these players, the young players that were coming through, hadn't agreed new terms, and I thought it was maybe time that the club got these contracts done and dusted this summer. We need to keep Vata, but it needs minutes. It does need minutes, but you're not going to put him out on loan with a year to go. You know, you're never going to do that. 136 thumbs up here. Hail. Cheers for that, Chris. You're never going to put him out on loan with a year to go in his contract, and then he runs down the contract and goes for nothing. You'll put him on loan if he extends his contract, and the club's only protecting its assets that way. Because let's face it, Vata will be able to leave for 300,000. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it. You know, and we'll only get that 300,000 if he moves to another team that's prepared to pay it. That's the thing. You know, we're going to get it could be an even lower fee than that. You know, than 300,000, because there would only be due money for the fact that he has played first team football, but it is just a year left in his contract. I really need to sort this light out for the next live at this time of night. Stop acting like a big club. Sign him up. Yes. You remember Dundee United back in the 80s? Dundee United used to put young players on 10-year contracts just in case that the player became a good player. The McLean brothers were absolutely bonkers that way. Yeah, I know. I had to. It's a crap line. The Gestapo on you. Yeah, I've just shown that light out the window, and she's sitting on the terrace. Anyway, we've burnt giving Doak away. Yes, we got burnt giving Ben Doak away before my time, but I'm only 35. Good evening, says Jim. Brian says, I bet you're not only 35. Yeah, no, but the Dundee United team in the 80s. The 80s were a highlight of football in Scotland. You had Dundee United that were regularly doing things in Europe. I'm sure Dundee United got a good result against Barcelona, if I remember, back in the days. You had Aberdeen obviously doing things with Fergie. And, you know, the Zombies were getting about 6,000 fans at their home games. So I am 35. What do you think I am? Who was it that said I was retired? Cheeky bombs. Anyway, yeah, the fact that it was a wonderful time. And then obviously Celtic get to 1988, they win the double. And then it all kind of changed a few years after that. And then Rangers obviously brought in Souness. And then we'll know what happened during the 90s. And it changed football. Now, you remember at that time, the only reason that Rangers managed to get a lot of the players that they did is because English teams were banned from Europe. So they knew that these players would want to play in Europe still, and that's how Rangers got them. Look older than if it reminds you. Dundee United beat Barcelona at home and away. That's right. That is right. They did beat them, didn't they? So yeah, Scottish football has been on a massive decline since 1990, I would say. It's been really Read earlier that he's on 120 quid a week compared to players that hope they up his wages. Surely he's not on just 120. That's YTS wages. Said you're retired. I'm not retired. Well, my brother said I'm retired. I wish I was retired. Do you know how hard it is to work in 30-odd degree heat out here? Anyway, yeah. So how did we start talking about Scottish football again? Celtic want to do one thing. They want to dominate Scottish football. Did Murray put a quid in of his own money to buy? No, he didn't. He bought Rangers for 5 million or 6 million, and it was the bank's money, the Bank of Scotland. So yeah, he never put. I hardly think he put any of his own money in. In the 80s, Scottish football was more better with better teams, says Peter. Smaller leagues generally have suffered ever since the APL got stupid money. They have to an extent. And there's somebody who's made a comment as well. Baz, you let the cat out of the bag when you mentioned the other night. Nightclubs the other night. The nightclubs? Did I? What was I talking about nightclubs for? The nightclubs here. The nightclubs here are open to 4 a.m. And they've not even got roofs on them. Anyway, Baz, let the cat out of the bag. Anyway, Peter, talking about Scottish football. We're talking about Scottish football. We've digressed a bit. And it's good that Celtic have dominated. If you look back, when we got the first treble under Martin O'Neill, well, the only one, and everyone was ecstatic that we got that. And you never thought for 1 minute that, you know how hard it is to get a treble. And then the fact that Brendan Rodgers comes in and completely dominates Scottish football and then sends us on a run of trebles that is going to be hard to... I mean, there's every chance Celtic can win a treble this year. I think Brendan will try his utmost to win the treble. Do you think we can do it? Anyway, you're talking about season tickets under 100. Oh yeah, that was for the kids' tickets. No, that was for the kids' tickets. The kids' season tickets I was talking about the other night. The £50 season tickets for the kids. They still have them yet. Celtic's had them for... Jesus, when did I start taking... When did Lenny become manager first time round? Because it was that year that I started taking the kids to the football. The Metro and the old boat, etc. Yeah, I give my age away then, but I'm not retired. Jesus, I'm only 50. He's a break, man. Anyway, we should be favoured to win the title. We should be favoured to win the... I think we are favoured. You're bad. Yeah, you're bad. No, we got knocked out the first round. In 1970, final against Feyenoord Milan. Yep, semi-finals. Football was cheap in the 80s and the crack was mighty. It was that. But there was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of fighting at the football back then as well, which you have to remember. And what kind of changed football forever. You look rich, that's why we all assume you're retired. I look rich? Jesus. No, I just look after myself. I'm not retired. I wish I was retired. But yeah, I do work out here, and it's we have a plan. We have a 15-year plan, and the cost of living out here is that good that if it all falls into place, we should be doing well. Anyway, hail Baz and the boys, says Stephen Kelly. Right, a big shout out to Brian, who made a double payment is off his head. He tried to make a £20 donation to the channel, and then Patrick Toner come in with a $9.99 one. Thank you for that, Patrick. Thank you for that. Brian, let's get a quick catch up with the Celtic news. If there's anything else came out tonight, the Iron of the Zombie has been liquidated by Charles Green and Craig White. Yes, exactly. Everyone's green and white. I used to say, when I worked at a factory back in the 90s, I used to say that everything that was green was gold. And that's why the Rangers walked on green grass. You never got blue grass, do you? It's everything that's green is gold. Remember getting lifted over the turnstiles to the old jungle? Yes, I can remember being at the Liverpool game for Hillsborough, and I was totally... There was a guy for... Obviously, the fans were all mixed for that game. And there was a guy standing, guy for Glasgow and a guy for Liverpool, and they were talking about the poll tax. And I mean, I was only 16 or something at that time. 16, 17, no, 18, 17, 18. And it was the most bizarre thing ever, because these guys are sitting talking about the poll tax and just how it wasn't right. And I think that's when I first realised that, Celtic is a completely, I'm watching but can't comment, call you later. That's because you're probably not subscribed, Kev. That's my brother texting me. Anyway, how you doing? I'll phone you after this. Forget the treble. We're going for the quadruple. Oh, what, are you going for the Champions League, or are you going for the Europa? I was in the jungle. Brilliant times. Brilliant. I was there as well. Mark was there also. That was a surreal game. It was a surreal game. And especially for the reason that we were having to play it in the first time. And I would trade all the domestic titles for a European title, says Jason. Would you forgo? Well, look at it this way. Sevco almost did that, didn't they? And they got to a European final. Would you take losing the title this year? It's never going to happen. That's if buts and maybes, and it's never going to happen. Yep, here to dodge the drunk. Trebles are special. Trebles are special, and I think we'll have been a bit spoiled. What you've got to remember as well, what I find fascinating, is there's a generation of Celtic football fans that have never known a dominant Rangers. For me, is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It means that we can all have a dig at the board, but it means that the board's doing its job. Is it good for Scottish football? That's up to other teams in the league to up their game. For too long have other teams in the Scottish League been underfunded, or they've maybe tried to spend too much money. They've spent money that they don't have. It's just where the Scottish. That's for another talk on another channel. There's a lot of them. Hope Hibs go far in Europe. Yep, so do I. I want all the teams to do well in Europe. Well, not them all. Yeah, because it means if they're doing well in Europe, they're playing on a Sunday. I just want to. It's great just making sure that the majority of our games are on a Saturday, but you see how it is already. They've changed their games to a Sunday, but once we get the Champions League up and running, it'll be good to get back to Saturday football. Final of the Europa is in Dublin. In Dublin. Nah, it was in Seville last year, and we thought we would get that, and the Zombies got it the other year. Highbees. Yep, the Highbees, I hope they do well. We can dream. Can we drop down? Can we really drop down and actually do what the Zombies did in Europe? There's nothing bad about saying that, Jason. Hats off to them for getting in that run to Europe, because at the end of the day, it's the day-to-day work is winning week in, week out in the league. A European run, West Ham last season. Something today says, the other brickie I work with is one of them. He said to me today, he fears at least 5-6 years of Celtic domination. He said they can't survive that long. He said Scotland created the modern game. Scotland should be represented in Europe. I think that goes into the Champions League and the format of the Champions League. This nonsense having 4 teams from any given league in the Champions League. It should not be called the Champions League anymore. It should not be called the Champions League, because it isn't the Champions League. That's just my own personal opinion. Anyway, remember seeing Kenny first game as a wee lad in the jungle. Great times to be a Celtic fan. It was a good time to be a Celtic fan. Fantastic times. The modern game is what it is. People are sitting down. You can sit at one end of Celtic Park, as what I did for many a year, and then you can go to the Celtic end. And I remember going around to the Celtic end one half time to see someone. They're like, come around here and have a seat and watch the game was. And everybody's sitting down. I'm like, are you allowed to talk? Are you allowed to talk? Because it's like they're all sitting there and quiet, and it's like it's the difference between the modern football ground. It's just modern football. It is what it is. We can dream, says Jason, who faced the Jers in the Champions League finals and beat them. That would be something else. That would be something else. They get into Europe and then we get dropped down into Europa. No, that wouldn't even be good. No, it wouldn't. Because then, you can imagine that lot in Dublin. That would just be nasty. That would be nasty. Yeah, because then you would get all sorts of hooligans coming over from England. So yeah, nah. Keep us apart as far as I'm concerned. The 80s is fat is round is worth £1 million. We could talk. They could talk them down forever. Yes, we could. That they won't beat PSV. It's the money league. Yes, the Champions League is all about the money league. I mean, people. It's funny because Barcelona and this country have been told that they can't spend so much money and they can't do this and they've got to sell players and everything and they've got to do all this, but they've just knocked down the stadium completely and they're rebuilding it. And it's like, how much money have they got? You look. What's the dog shout? What's the noise? Bangers. No, they're letting off fireworks. Right, it's fine. Right, and then Real Madrid have just came out with plans for their stadium. Their stadium is going to make Man City Stadium and the Tottenham Stadium look like a playground, an absolute playground. Anyway, watched PSV in final last week. Better team than 2 years ago. Mark McGee, yes, it was Mark McGee about that song. How do you feel about the budgets for the Champions League teams and how other Scottish teams think about us? Yes, exactly. Who's driving around with a ghetto bastard system? Anyway, when you see the money, I mean, even teams here in Spain, they'll think nothing to spend than £20 million on a player, you know, and that's a team that's like 17th in the league last year. You know, they'll think nothing to spend than £20 million on a player. Scottish football in terms of budgets is just completely bangers. A good few of them in Glasgow Blue ones. There is that. Rangers monitored on UEFA watch list. Financial player warning. Well, there you go. It's not as if that's something that they've never done before. Bit of an old financial play there. Anyway, let's give a big shout back to Patrick for the $9.99 donation even, and Brian for his double donation also. So we will be getting a few beers, and well, it takes it. You get it from YouTube about 30 days later. But anyway, thank you for the payments, guys. Right, let's see if there's any more Celtic news. Obviously, the big Celtic news this evening is Ben Summers signed a new contract extension. Bigger stadiums in Spain, bringing in better money and a better TV deal. Yes. I went to Murcia, right? Murcia's not even in the top league, and their stadium was it was immense. Some size of stadium. They don't have a lot of we'll spend money on burger stands and everything in the back of them, and they don't. They don't do a lot of the sort of foodie stuff at their grounds. But what they do is they build big stadiums, and they fill the stadiums. You know, it's like the second tier in Spanish football. You know, there's no many stadiums that aren't full on a weekly basis. Love your sisters. I've got a message from Dublin. Zombies, yes. I'm not even putting out. There's Paul Baird is in the house. Even you, Paul, wouldn't want the zombies to get to even as runners up medal for them. Yep, Danny boy, that was great crack. Right, Gustaf's in the house. My team for the weekend is Hart, Ralston, Rocky, Carter, Vickers, Taylor, O'Reilly, McGregor, Turnbull, Abada, Kyogo, and Dyson. That's what I think. I think the score, I'm going to go for 3-1 again. You're bound to get it right one of these times. I'm going to go for 3-1 again. Tell me your scores in the prediction before we wind the video up for the evening. There is 256 people online. It is getting a bit late. It's Friday night, so people are dropping off. So, let's get some scores on the doors. And then we can go for a beer. So we get some comments up. Nobody's commenting. If nobody's commenting, I'm just going to call the video a night. And 2-1. 2-0. Safe travels. 3-1. I'm not even finished this one. I'll have that one though. So alright, we've had reinforcements. We're not stopping just yet. We've had reinforcements. 2-2, 4-1, 4-0. 2-1 will do me. 2-1 the Hoops. 3-1. 3-2. Heart Howler again. I think Aberdeen will be too dies and brace. I think Aberdeen will be too tight at the back for it to be a big scoreline. But I know that we're beating Aberdeen, I think it was 7-0 or something at Celtic Park once. You can always look on the bright side of life. Many signing that in 91. Yes, that was brilliant times. Celtic fans singing that. And Celtic fans have always been known for Taylor struggling without inverted defending. Is Taylor struggling? I don't think he's struggling. I just think it was the first game back. I'm going to the pub to play Welcome to the Jungle. Even better. Heart Howler would cause a crisis. If Heart, I need to get one of those wives. Paul Limray says that he needs to get one of those wives. A guy's just said that he needs to get one of those wives. Anyway, he's a bit bitty. I think. Don't look at anything. Don't look. I never ordered it online for Thailand. Shut up. Oh my god. Centenary year was perfect. The centenary year was absolutely brilliant. The centenary year is the year that I went to Salou for the first time, and I spent the summer in Salou. Because I left school. My dad was working in Salou at the time, so I went straight to Spain. So that was an interesting year for me. Taylor's too lightweight and too small. Interesting. 3-1, best misses out. 3-1, Celtic. Right, there goes Marty. Hart, Ralston, Carter, Vickers, Rocky, Taylor, Ohm. Interesting. McGregor, Hatate, Kyogo, Abada. 3-2, Rocky the first goal. 3-2, do you think that team has got a lot of mistakes in it to let in 2 goals? Nice to on. How can't Kev get a wife? Kev couldn't get a wife. Kev couldn't get a wife if he tried. He's probably watching this going, shut it, you. He'll be cracking up. He's watching this on the telly. Get more cans and we'll have another out. There we go. Get as more cans. We've got another hour out of them. We're too small. One word, jinky. Yep. Nah, I don't think we're too small. Definitely do not think it's normal for Scottish women. Let me see this one. Jason, he says, it's normal for Scottish women to hand their men a beer on a regular basis and need to go to Scotland. Only when you're doing a live on YouTube. The boy for Benny Hoffer, I was up there today. The boy for Benny Hoffer. There you go. We were up at Rahalis today, having a nose around, because we're getting out of this place. Aberdeen beat Barnes as manager. Oh, Jesus. John Barnes. Oh, here we go. Somebody subscribed and waited the whole 20 minutes. He's waited 20 minutes to be able to talk. Ice, Hallow, come. Well, there we go. Here they come. They're coming out for Under the Rocks. It's the first one tonight. Where have you been? We've been online for an hour and 13 minutes. And it's took you all that time. And I changed it to 20 minutes tonight. So you had to, it must be really bad having to wait 20 minutes to subscribe to then have a comment. Anyway, and that's the best you can come up with. Big shout to Kieran earlier on, who was probably a bit more sensible. Anyway. Right. Obsessed. Wee Taylor's going nowhere. He'll be around for years to come. Yes, I think Taylor will be. Hello Ice Come was banned in their comments. Yep. Total plonker. I want to see Ralston get a run of games. It's plonker. 2-0 Celtic. Who let the husband out and who let the husbands out? Right. Obsessed. That they have subscribed. Taylor, there's we go. Taylor's going nowhere. He'll be around for years to come. I think he will. Also, you've got to keep a certain amount of Scottish players anyway, and I think the ones that we've got at the club. What will happen in a couple of years' time when the likes of James Forrest hangs up his boots, thinks he's clever? They'll come swallow his brain cell. They're too busy hiding behind their couches every weekend, and European nights coming up. Do you think that they're on hiding? I've never watched them yet, so I can't really comment on them. Slaverons, staggering about fuming. Oh man, spell check. Right, thinks he's clever by his swallow come on his brain cell. These are absolutely mad. The lot of yous. What time is it? We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. Turnbull will be the next captain. Do you think so? I don't see that in Turnbull. I think the next captain will be a defender. It wouldn't surprise me if Carter Vickers is at Celtic for 6 or 7 years. Callum McGregor's got years left on him yet anyway, so he's got about another 5 years in him, so that's a way down the line for that one. Jers this season are basically 10 guys waiting for Cantwell to flip-flop penalty. CC, yep, Carter Vickers for me, yeah. I think he's younger than Calmack, and I think the time that Calmack hands up his boots, they're shocking, worth a watch. Thank God I was brought up a boy. And there's CFC 1888 just in the house. You've been listening to Snide FM. That's why you're not here. AJ, there's an interesting shout, actually. Alistair Johnson could be the next captain. Will he stick around that long? Or Alistair Johnson will be a player that will get a big move. The next captain will be Tierney when he eventually comes home. Nah. Baz, the missus is getting out to play. We're not going out tonight. We're going out tomorrow night. We're going down to... Got a birthday party down at Play Flamenco, so we're going down there tomorrow night for a party. Keep it a big in. CCV, if he's still around, for sure. Cal will be around for another few years. So I think Cal, has he not just signed another 5-year deal or something? I don't know. What a boy for Benihoffer. You're a romantic. That's boy for Benihoffer. Next captain will be Tierney. That's a boy for Benihoffer that said that. What a life. What a life. What do you mean, what a life? Stuart Ramsey absolutely nailed it. Slaving on perfectly. Right. I'm going to have one last check and see if there's any update. Celtic set to break yet another club transfer record this summer. Interesting. I'll have a quick look at this blog. It has just been... Well, that was a bit of a clickbaity title. Oh dear, is that... Jesus. Right, okay. Fell for that one, didn't I? Celtic are set to break another club's transfer record. Read it right, I suppose. Read it right. Yep. They're getting in 3 million they're spending to get Elfsborg defender big Lager Gustaf. I still think that's got a bit of a catch to it. So yeah. Is there another sticky bun? Hun in the house. Is there? Another one. There we go. Erectile dysfunction. That is some name. Anyway. That's another one that's waited 20 minutes to just put an absolutely useless comment. Anyway, never mind. Dysfunctional family. They're ready to break their own. Yeah, the Swede is booked for a medical. Love it. Is in the house. If you missed the start of the one that's been reported, there you go. If you missed the start of it, we did talk about Gustaf has agreed. his wages. A transfer fee has been agreed with the club. The Celtic are about to spend £3 million on him, and the Swedish defender will be at Celtic Park and unveiled next week. So Brendan gets his man after Carl Starfelt. Jesus, too many beers. And anyway, one Swede in, one Swede out. 20 minutes. Yeah, Matt, they've got to wait. I'm going to put it up to half an hour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the lives in half an hour sections so that I can have a 5-minute break and then we'll start another one. And I'll put you on to that one. Remember, going on holiday in Spain and trying to find a daily record for Celtic news. 24 hours out of date. Yeah, they were great days. But that's the way it was. At this rate, you'll be at 20,000 subs soon. No, because what they do is they subscribe so that they can talk. And then, that's my brother. And then they unsubscribe. So you know it's them because the subscriber count, it generally goes in one direction. It goes up. It never goes up and down. But you see when they subscribe and unsubscribe. Anyway, another fab Swede in paradise. Cheers for an excellent stream. Brian, you're getting the big last comment. Basically because you've been so good to the channel tonight, as well as Patrick Toner and yourself. You will get the last comment of the evening. It's been an absolutely fantastic evening again, talking about football, just like paying their taxes. Yeah, see you later, Brian. See you later, guys. It's been brilliant. I shall see you tomorrow morning with a news update video. And Saturday, I might do one. I might go live after tomorrow at full time. What full-time whistles in Scotland? I don't know. Hunbar and Benny Hoffer got kicked out for strolling in with my hoop stopper. Is there a Hunbar and Benny Hoffer? Is there? Jesus. Where do you usually go? Do you go down to Paddy's to watch it, or do you go to the Hoops Bar? Do you go to the Hoops Bar to watch it? You better go to the Hoops Bar for Benny Hoffer. Anyway, right. Hail, hail. Have a great night, everyone, all around the world that's been watching the videos tonight. The viewers are dropping down a bit. People are saying it's Friday night. Let's go and do something else. See you all later, peeps. Let's get the video up. The outro, the new outro, and I hope you like it. So have a great evening, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit.